This woman right here that's shown, she had the nerve to go to her TikTok and post about what she did on a Saturday after a Beyonce concert because she could, because she didn't have any responsibilities, because she's 29 and child free. And somehow it made it to the conservative side of TikTok. Matt Walsh took her video and reposted it to his over 2 million followers, and they started coming for this woman simply because she's 29, child free, and living life like she's child free. So, as this commenter said, she thought that she had some controversial opinion. All this woman said was she slept in, she decided to check out a recipe, and she's child free. And it caused a brouhaha on Twitter. So this is what Matt Walsh said. Her life doesn't revolve around her family and kids, so instead it revolves around TV shows and pop stars. Worst of all, she's too unwise to realize how depressing this is. So a woman that he does not know, he just made this assumption off of a video where she said, "This is how I'm spending my Saturday." If you don't have a family, at least do something interesting with your time. These people have absurd amounts of free time and they do absolutely nothing with it, wasting their lives staring at little glowing boxes. Absolutely soul crushing. Now, this woman has a Saturday free. He has nothing, he knows nothing about this woman's life. And how do you know that people making recipes and going to Beyonce and sleeping in isn't interesting to someone? And then Joey says, I see I see a lonely 70-year-old woman living with cats in her future. Perhaps it's for the best that she doesn't pass on her genetic material to future generations. I wish they would learn subject verb agreement and how to use the word woman and women in situations. But I wish also that they would come up with something other than cats, because women are telling you that, yes, they actually do prefer cats to people like Joey Bones and Matt Walsh. Joey Bones continued, please let me add another provocative comment to the mix. Raising children, whether biological or adopted, is a selfless act. It appears that a wide swath of millennials and Gen Z are more self-centered, unwilling to make this sacrifice, and lack virtue. Please understand that you are absolutely right. They are not making this sacrifice because there is not a whole lot on the back end, because there's no support for women, there's no support for mothers, and they are pulling social safety nets. Cost of living is very high. Childcare is scarce and or expensive. So please understand that, yes, you're right. They are not wanting to do this selfless act. Women are telling you why they are opting out. Start to listen. This person says, why does anybody have to raise children? This is not a requirement to being an adult. Recognize that people have, like, for generations, put it into our mind that the only way to be a productive woman is to be a self-sacrificing martyr. And so now that women are opting out because we do not have to be linked to a man for survival, these dudes are losing their mind. Joey says, it's a societal, economic, and biological imperative if humans want to continue to live on this earth. Let's be a bit rational. If that is the case, Joey Bones and any other conservatives, recognize that if it is imperative, y'all better start supporting women and supporting mothers and listening to women and what women are asking for. This person says, one day humans will be gone for good, whether it's natural disaster, end of resources, bad conditions, or a random rogue meteor taking us out. One day we'll all be dust. It's fine to live your life for yourself and not driven every moment of your day for the continuation of a species that'll end. And when we're gone, we're gone. We won't have any recollection. This person kind of wrote a dissertation in terms of Twitter. As the saying goes, you can make any choice you want, but you can't escape the consequences of your choices. In her case, it's ending her bloodline that was carried on by all of the prior generations who carried her to this point so she can watch Netflix. Collectively, this mindset doesn't work because the nation she is in collapses, and their collective will be forced to submit to the nation of women who produce strong, enduring families and strong men. Just look at history, what French women did for German men to survive. So the consequences of her action, maybe this is what she wants to do. I don't know, y'all. These dudes they are devolving. They really, really do not understand that They are not making themselves look any better to these women that they are casting aspersions on. They are making brunches, girl dinner, girl trips, cats, and plants look a whole lot better than the guys that are coming for these women. Why would any woman want to sacrifice after being bombarded with all of these? And the people on Twitter didn't just stay on Twitter. They came to her pages as well. She said as much on her posts that they are literally coming to her pages and inundating her with comments. So the bullying is not right, and the bullying is not going to change the minds of child-free women. The bullying will only make these child-free women more staunchly child-free. But you guys go ahead, jump in my comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share.
It's 10:45 a.m. on a Saturday. I am 29 and single, and I don't have kids yet. Here's what your Saturday morning looks like when you're single at 29 and you don't have a kid running around the house. I didn't rise from my bed until 10:15. Every time I thought, I should probably get up and do something. I thought, why? Nobody's making me. I'm not missing out on anything. I went to Beyonce last night, and I didn't get home until 1 a.m. And I danced and drank my little heart out, and I didn't pay a babysitter to watch my kids as I did that. And I woke up a tad hungover this morning, which is probably why I was in bed for so long. And I was just scrolling on my phone, and I saw a picture of shakshuka, and I thought, you know what sounds really good? Maybe I'm gonna learn how to make shakshuka today, because I have no plans, and I don't have kids, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today. Also on my agenda, probably a rewatch of some Real Housewives of New York. I'm also doing a rewatch of Normal People on Hulu, which is really spicy and I highly recommend. Weirdly, I'm into this documentary on Netflix about blue zone countries, so I've got a pretty stacked day. Anyway, I say all this to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I don't have kids and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday. And I know that you can do all these things when you have kids and you're married, and I understand, but the effortlessness and ease of my life, just kind of focusing on myself and the shakshuka I want to make or the Beyonce concert I want to go to, really pays off when I'm hard on myself for not being where society tells me I should be in life. Hi, my name is Julia and I'm 29 and single. Yesterday, someone named Matt Walsh decided to repost a TikTok video that I posted to his 2.4 million followers on X, formerly known as Twitter. And the way that his followers bullied me in the comments, reached out to me on social media, threatened me, was honestly abhorrent. Some of his followers said that I was gonna die alone, I should actually die and never leave my house, I should be sexually assaulted, I'm pathetic, I'm a whore, and that I was dead behind my eyes. Honestly, that one kind of made me laugh because I use Kosas concealer and I thought that it was working. No, but really, if you haven't watched the video, I suggest you watch it. It's all about how I, a 29-year-old single female, decided to spend my Saturday watching reality TV, learning how to cook shakshuka, and sleeping in until 10 a.m. And these people were really riled up about my choices on a Saturday. But here's the thing about social media. While it can be a really crazy place, which I experienced yesterday, it's a place where there's content for everyone. Here's who I'm creating content for. I'm creating content for people who are taking their time creating the lives that they want for themselves. Because it's the life that they want, not something that society has deemed correct. People who are feeling anxious in life because they haven't met their person yet or started a family, aren't rushing or settling to meet someone because some internet troll is telling them that they're gonna die alone. And you know what? There's a 40 to 50% divorce rate in the US, and I believe that figuring out who you are first and foremost and meeting your partner at that point is going to decrease that divorce rate. And if you're lucky enough to have the family and friends and support that I do, none of us are going to die alone. And I believe that we're all going to meet our people, and we're going to do it living life by our own terms. Life's too short to be living life figuring out what Matt Walsh wants us to do, or what some internet troll behind their keyboard is saying. If anyone is wondering, the shakshuka I made was delicious, and I'd love to share the recipe if anyone's interested.
Apparently, Mark Cuban and Stephen Miller were going head to head over this woman choosing to have a lazy Saturday after having fun at a Beyonce concert. So remember, Matt Walsh says her life doesn't revolve around her family and kids, so instead it revolves around TV shows and pop stars. Worst of all, she's too unwise to realize how depressing this is. So Mark Cuban says the guy whose life revolves around Twitter/X. Then Stephen Miller swoops in. You have a large following. People listen to your advice. What would you say is more fulfilling path for adults? Starting a family or sleeping late and watching TV. What advice would you give someone who suggests they wish to be childless so they can stream more shows? I am not sure why these people speak in such binaries, but he didn't say anything to Matt Walsh's large following, who in turn went to bully this woman. No. And then he gave a false binary, like you can't sleep in and still have a fulfilling path. These people really think that their stance and their point of view on having kids is the best. But also remember, Stephen Miller is one of the architects that helped separate children from their parents who were seeking asylum in the United States. So he has no problem with separating kids and breaking up families. But probably the families have to be a lighter hue, a lighter complexion. Oh, what a coincidence. This person says, just a reminder that family man Stephen Miller was one of those behind Trump's admin's family separation policy, in which young children of migrants were snatched from their parents. So just keep this in mind that he is this person. So Mark Cuban actually responded to Stephen Miller by saying, thanks for asking, Stephen. One, I wouldn't give her advice unless she asked. Two, after looking at the comments to her post, I would thank her for offering a place for people who can relate to her to engage and have a conversation. She replies to the comments, and based on that, people seem to appreciate it. Three, from a business perspective, I would tell her that the wellness space is crowded, but if she does this in addition to her job, she might be able to build a nice business. Four, as far as a family, I would tell her to do whatever she thinks is best for her. It's none of my effing business. Number five, if I had you both in a room, I would point at her and thank her for trying to bring joy to others. And I would point at you and ask, what happened that causes you to hate so much? Seriously, Stephen, why so much hate from you? And Stephen Miller responded, in the interest of time, I will respond with 2 points. Number one, no society can succeed where the constant message from our elite leaders is to do whatever the hell you want and don't worry about children. Children are simply the most important thing in the whole world and the foundation of civilization and all human flourishing, except if you're a migrant with parents that are seeking asylum. Keep that in mind. He is perfectly fine with separating those families. Number two, could you be more crass? And I think you would acknowledge unprovoked smear on point number five. The issue, work, with which I'm arguably most associated, stopping human smuggling and trafficking, is quite literally about saving human lives. Yeah, right, Stephen Miller. Yeah, right. It's all about separating families that are browner than yours. I am totally flabbergasted that the right wingers don't seem to understand that their words, their vitriol, and their hypocrisy pushes people away rather than makes them want to have children. It is shown that the birth rate is declining and it's going to continue to decline. And all of this discourse is not helping. Even people coming at child-free people is not going to help them want to have more children. Anyways, you guys go ahead. You let me know what you think. Jump in the comments, like, comment, share.